before I get into a brief explanation of my own personal experience with this, I would like to just, put out there real quick. I do have a couple of friends. I don't see them often. I don't see them every week. I don't see them every month. I might see them every few months, if that. So it's not like I don't have a couple of people who I loosely refer to as friends, but as far as just being alone most of the time, that's just something that I feel like a lot of men have to deal with. And I myself included, a lot of us men are just alone. We do our hobbies, we play games, we go to work, we try to go to the gym, we try to learn how to cook something for ourselves, learn a new recipe. But a lot of times men just have to, get over this whole stigma about going to a movie theater alone or to a restaurant alone. That was something that I had to get over very quickly. Maybe in my early 20s, I just kind of got over that stigma. If I wanted to go to the movies, I'd just go to the movies. If I wanted to go to a restaurant, I would just go to a restaurant by myself. It's embarrassing at first, and still, till this day, when I walk into a restaurant, if I just want to go get something for myself, you do feel a little bit judged sometimes, but you get over it pretty quickly, especially if you just listen to music or watch YouTube or scroll through social media. That kind of takes your mind off the whole experience, as awkward as it can be. But in my own personal experience, I think that I've made the most acquaintances and people that I was kind of in a brotherhood with through things like working out together or doing jujitsu or trying Muay Thai for a little while. Especially sports. Sports is like a good way to build like a brotherhood or have like a group of people that are all like-minded. You could also experience something similar to that in like fighting game communities. If you play in-person Street Fighter or in-person Smash Brothers or whatever, take your pick your poison. But yeah, if you have the patience for learning a new game, or the fighting game community is a great way to expand your circle of friends. I kind of gave that up though, just because I got a little burnt out. And jiu-jitsu, I never really kept up with that. I just, it got expensive, and plus I just wasn't passionate about it after a certain point. I did it for, maybe like 6 months, and then I just got kind of burnt out of waking up early and, burning like 1,000 calories before I go to work. It's a good way to get tired of a hobby, is just doing it over and over a lot. But that's sometimes what it takes. Sometimes, dedication is the only way to get better at something like that. But excuse me, my throat's really dry. Sorry. You might notice I'm hydrating a lot during these videos because my mouth gets really dry. But yeah, I would say as far as my own personal experience goes, it's mostly just, meeting with family to just kind of fill in the gaps. I go to church. I occasionally, once every blue moon, once every few months, I might see, like an old friend from work for pizza or a beer or something or whatever. And I'm not digging on any of those guys. I mean, they all have their own social life, but as you get older, you lose, that sense of, I don't know, as I've gotten older, at least, maybe not you, but as I've gotten older, I've lost that sense of belonging to like a clique, a group, a solid group of like your boys, like your friends. I'm just alone most of the time, and I've just kind of learned to cope with that. But just you gotta get over it. I feel like this is just what most men just have to deal with. Most men just have to deal with being alone. I haven't dated since 2016. That sounds like a long time to some people, but to me, that's not even that long ago. 2016 was almost 10 years ago, but when you're my age, when you're a little older, time just flies by. It just grows wings and flies away. You don't even notice it. And so I recently had the opportunity to get back into the dating pool. I noticed once at church and also once at my previous job, I had a couple girls, not a bunch, but I had like a couple girls show me some clear signs that they were, interested, that if I wanted to pursue, they were giving me the cues. But I just wasn't really in a place, like financially, or really, I didn't see them necessarily as being like my future wife or whatever. But it was mostly just like a financial issue. Like I didn't feel like I was in a position to be taking on a wife or going on dates. My finances were a little bit strained. But other than that, I just kind of felt like I wasn't really in the place to be dating, because I want to date with the intent to marry. But other than having like a couple girls here and there, like over the past year or so, show clear interest in me, it's not like girls are throwing themselves at me. It's not a very common occurrence. But I think it's worth just noting that the best thing you can really do is just try to pick up a new hobby, try to work on yourself, go to the gym, try to work on your looks. Not like looks maxing or anything, but like just care about your diet or your exercise. Put in a little bit of extra effort, and like most men will stand out if they just put in a little extra effort to try to look nice, or do their hair in the morning, not smell. Most of you already know this, but it's just I don't really know how else to breach this subject. It's just sort of something I feel a lot of people, men and women, are struggling with. I could only speak to the experience that I've had as a man, but I feel like I just need to find people who are like-minded, who want to occasionally pick up a game, or do some art, or make some videos, or just grab a beer or something, because that's kind of hard to find nowadays. Everyone's pretty self-absorbed, and they're just very self-involved with social media, and they just kind of want to all talk about themselves, which I know that's kind of what I'm doing right now. But I always try to show genuine interest in other people. I try to listen to other people, and sometimes it just gets annoying when you see like most people just want to talk about themselves. And if you have an ear to lend, they'll appreciate it if you listen to them. But I just feel like I've tried to breach different hobbies and activities to meet other people, but those activities were just things that sort of resonated with me, but not necessarily were like part of what I do and who I am and what I truly like. I did those hobbies mostly just to meet people, whether it was going to Mortal Kombat or Smash Brothers tournaments just to like hang out and play some friendlies, or lose immediately in a bracket. I tried jujitsu because I thought that was like a cool idea. Shout out to Joe Rogan. Yeah, it was like cool for a season, but it wasn't really part of who I am or my identity, what I really want to do. I even tried Dungeons and Dragons. I tried messing around a little bit with Warhammer, but those things really just aren't for me. What I'd like to do, and what I think would be a good move, especially for a lot of older people, men and women that are like, in their 30s, pushing their 40s, I think we need to start, or at least start normalizing the idea of a video game book club. And this is just like an idea that I feel like a lot of people are toying around with, especially for, hold on, especially for people in their later years, or like older millennials and stuff like that. there just isn't really an excuse in the day to just go play a game. But I feel like if you add a social aspect to that and have like a group, preferably in person, I think that would be like a really enriching environment to, you know, talk to other people who played a game with you, because then it becomes, instead of it just being like, I played this game, I beat it, and you know, and that's it. That was kind of the old way of doing things as like, you know, as a kid, as a teenager. But now that I'm older, I think a video game book club for older people that are like more mature, more well-rounded, maybe not like edgy, just like people who want to, you know, take time to casually game on something simple, maybe not like a hardcore audience like Apex or something like that, but people who just want to sit down and play like an indie game that's for sale, you know, play it for like a month and then come back and, you know, have a chat about it at, you know, a coffee shop or somewhere. I think that'd be really cool for older people, I feel. I'm sure there's a lot of people already doing video game book clubs, but I would like to be a part of one, or at least start one at some point, but in person. But you know, that's just a dream at this point, but we'll see how that plays out. But other than actually doing something like that, I would like to also make videos or just do art. Like I don't think I've made a video on this so far, but I like to draw. I don't draw particularly good, but I have a pretty decent little doodle style. I have like, I think I had like 6 or 7 sketch pads, like small ones that are like full. So I do take time to do things just kind of on my own. I just occupy my time with little hobbies, or, you know, honestly a lot of downtime's just spent exercising or watching YouTube, and I feel a lot of guys can relate to that. But yeah, I have like a passion in me. I have a drive in me to want to, there's something in me that wants to make something, whether that's like a group or like an art group, or people who game, or something like more casual. So maybe not like a hardcore gaming group, but just people who like want to play something over the period of like a month and then just talk about it over coffee. Or you know, people who want to make like fun little dumb cringy videos of us just having fun and being wholesome. Or yeah, or just people who want to do art, or people who want to do like Sculpey or something. It'd be cool to be part of like an artsy kind of like a little bit of a mix of like an artistic gamer kind of group. But I haven't found mine yet. I haven't started one yet. I'm looking for one, but I wouldn't know how to go about being a part of one. Although I feel like that would be an environment I would thrive in, because I'm a pretty curious person. I'm a decent person. You know, I've been told by some friends that I'm above average as far as people go. I don't know. I'm not advocating for that myself. I'm just saying that's what someone told me that is like a cool friend of mine. He told me that he doesn't think I'm the most average, ordinary person. He thinks that I'm, you know, a little above average, and that's his review of me. And I appreciated that. You know, that was a very nice thing to hear from a friend. But that like reassures me, like, okay, well, maybe I am worth someone's time or someone's investment, or being part of a group, because I can relate to people. And even if I can't relate to their experiences, you know, I could at least hear them out, listen to them, you know, give some constructive feedback without stepping on anyone's toes. Which is like an adult skill, to not just be like some edgy, in your face, call it like it is, and say whatever's on your mind. I mean, it's really foolish to just speak what's on your mind and just be rude to people. I've learned to temper that over the years. But yeah, I'm just kind of rambling like a lot of my videos. But that's just been sort of my experience and my desire and my goal and my journey through this so far. It's been a lot of ups and downs. I do have a couple people who I can call friend, but I'm not really part of a group, a brotherhood. I'm not really established in any sort of social circle other than my immediate family. But I'm optimistic. I aspire to something greater than just being alone, and really having hope for these things is really a good driving force, because you really just can't give up. Like, you can't just be in despair or woe. You can't be woeful. You need to just at least hold on to a dream that you can have something. Like, just you can't just let everything go. But, well, technically you can, but I don't advise it, because there's a scripture that says hope deferred makes the heart sick or weary, but a desire fulfilled is like the tree of life. So that's one of the Psalms. I don't remember which one it is, but that's one that I've always held very true to my heart, because hope deferred can make the heart sick and weary. But you know what? I have the gospel. The gospel is a message of hope. And really, I know that the plan that God has for me is not a woeful, awful plan. And I know that his plan for you is not a life of misery and woefulness. But I'm looking forward to seeing what the future has, and receiving that, and being a part of something bigger than myself, or a group that accepts me, not necessarily for who I am, but who I've become, and what I can bring, and what the value that I can bring. And yeah, because I think people typically enjoy having me around. I think I bring a good vibe where I go. I try to, and that's really the most you can do, is just try to bring your best self to wherever you go. And yeah, but anyways, thanks for watching, and take care.